Okay, so I just woke up at 4:47 a.m. No alarm. I am freezing. My back already hurts and I have not even started yet. Today I'm living as an actual medieval peasant. And I mean actually, no Netflix breaks, no hot shower waiting for me, no phone, just me, a linen tunic that smells like a damp basement, and 8 hours of work that I genuinely do not know if I can survive. But here is the thing that got me interested in this whole idea. We spend so much time complaining about Mondays. I have to go to work. I have to check emails. Meanwhile, these people were doing backbreaking labor for basically nothing. No paycheck, just a roof, some basic food, and they were expected to be grateful. So today I am finding out, were medieval peasants absolute legends, or were they just miserable? Let us go. Alright, first things first, let me set the stage. If I am doing this, I am doing it properly. No shortcuts. I have a historian with me, basically my medieval referee, making sure I do not accidentally do something that would get me laughed out of the village. Here is how medieval peasants started every single day. They woke up before dawn, no stretching. No coffee? They woke up because it got light. That was the alarm clock. So there I was at 4:47 a.m., standing in near darkness, starting my day. First task, getting water for the day. And no, you do not turn on a tap. I had to walk half a mile, in the dark, on muddy paths I could barely see, carrying a wooden bucket. Within 2 minutes, my hands were completely numb. And this is what really got to me. They did this every single day, sometimes multiple times, because water is heavy, and you cannot carry everything at once. By the time I got back, my hands felt like solid blocks, and I was thinking, did people in medieval times just accept pain as part of life? Then something unexpected happened. The woman helping me, her name is Margaret. She is a historical interpreter. She said something that completely changed my perspective. She said, they did not think of it as suffering. They thought of it as normal, and that hit differently, because suddenly I'm not just tired. I am realizing how adaptable humans really are. If something is all you have ever known, it just becomes life. Next up, breakfast, and breakfast in 1347 is not really breakfast. It is thin bread, maybe some pottage, which is basically a vegetable stew, except everything is soft, and everything tastes faintly smoky, because the kitchen has a hearth in the middle, and no proper chimney. I'm eating this with my hands, no utensils, and I can taste smoke and everything. Margaret told me they probably stopped noticing it after a while. I definitely notice it. Okay, real question. Would you be able to give up hot showers, coffee, and food that does not taste smoky for your entire life? Because I am only 30 minutes in, and I am already thinking about a latte. Be honest in the comments. Would you survive this? Breakfast is over. Now comes the part that really matters, the work, and this is where I stop complaining about my comfortable desk job. Medieval peasants did not just work their own land, they had obligations. Feudalism meant you owed your lord several days of labor every week, sometimes 2 or 3 days, sometimes more depending on the season. Today is planting season, and I'm about to spend hours planting grain. I am given a hand plow, which is basically a wooden stick with a metal tip. My job is to break the soil, while someone behind me scatters seeds. First hour, this is not so bad. I got this. Second hour, my shoulders feel like they are disconnecting from reality. What really gets to me is not even the pain, it is the repetition. Step, push. Step, push. I am watching the sun move across the sky, thinking, I have been doing this for 3 hours, and I am not even a quarter done. They did this in heat, in rain, with very few breaks, a little bread, some ale, then right back to work, until the light was gone. This is where it stopped being funny. I started thinking about what this does to a person mentally, knowing that tomorrow, you will do this again, and the day after that, and the day after that, for most of your life. Then Margaret said something that shifted my perspective again. She told me peasants worked together. They sang, they shared the labor. There is even evidence of work songs, designed to make the work feel less isolating. So now I am wondering, does strong community make a hard life bearable? Or are humans just incredibly good at adapting? What do you think? It is around midday. My hands have blisters, actual blisters, and now my afternoon task gets even more intense. Because medieval peasants never just did one job. If you were not farming, you were fixing something, mending clothes, caring for animals, or in my case, fixing the roof. I am handed straw and rope and told to climb onto the cottage roof. I'm not great with heights. That information was not asked beforehand. I am up there, no safety equipment, sitting on straw, thinking, one wrong move. And this day gets a lot worse. There is no clinic. There is no quick fix. But the roof still needs fixing, because winter is coming. So I do it, hands shaking, blisters burning, and I have this moment of realization. These people did this all the time. They were not professionals. They were just people, doing what had to be done. Margaret joins me on the roof, which somehow makes it feel normal. She tells me roof repairs were community events. People helped, shared food, talked. It broke the monotony, and it made me realize something. Their lives had rhythm. Ours are faster, but lonelier. So here is my question. Would you choose medieval life, physically harder but deeply communal, or modern life, more comfortable but more isolated? Tell me what you think. The sun is setting, and for the first time today, the work stops. When the light is gone, that is it. No emails, no late night tasks. I go back to the cottage and start making dinner from scratch. I start a fire, chop vegetables, grind grain. This takes over an hour. For soup? Because soup is affordable, filling, and eaten every day. By the time I sit down, I am exhausted, not workout tired. A deep full body tired, the kind where everything just wants to stop. And I realize they felt this every single day. There were no real rest days, no long breaks, but there were moments of joy. Margaret brings out a simple wooden game, and we play for a bit. And there it is, laughter, connection. Even in hardship, people still found joy. So now I am stuck on this question. Is a shorter, harder life with community better than a longer, comfortable life with isolation? I honestly do not know. Here is what I learned. Medieval peasants were not weak. They were resilient, creative, and deeply social. They built community because community meant survival. We cannot fully imagine how consistently tired, cold, and hungry they were. We always have an escape. They were not ignorant. They were clever. They worked with what they had. And maybe, just maybe, there is something to learn from how they stayed connected. I am not saying medieval life was good, and I am definitely not saying we should go back. But I am saying they deserve more respect than we give them. If you made it this far, thank you. If this video made you think, like, or consider subscribing, and please tell me, what surprised you the most? What would you struggle with? Would you last a single day? I read almost every comment, and I genuinely love hearing what you think.